Hey guys, how's it going? So today's project involves updating the charging system on my first gen Ram. The older first gens, they use a external regulator, and that external regulator is prone to failure. So much so that the previous owner actually had some of those regulators on hand when they went out. He would just change it on the fly right then and there. And he told me about that. Unfortunately, I did not catch the problem soon enough, and the regulator failed, and the alternator was free to just charge as much as it wanted to, and it completely fried my battery on about an hour-long trip that I had taken. Completely fried the battery, the alternator shot. So this is my solution to fix that problem. There's a company called PA Performance, and they make an alternator that is a self-exciting alternator. So it's kind of like your GM one-wire alternator. Very easy to hook up, and you can completely disregard that external regulator that's on these older Ram pickups. So I'm really excited about to try this out. You know, obviously comes in with your proper pulley already hooked up, and it's going to be a one-wire alternator. It's just hook up your one wire and go. Now you can option for a lead, and this is a lead for a tachometer. So if you want to hook up a tach, this is a really easy way to go. Just go ahead and order it from them with that option on there, and it will make up hooking up your tach so much simpler for these older Ram pickups. And I plan on doing that, probably not in this video, but in the future I'll be doing that, so I'm excited. The instructions are pretty plain and very to the point, which is perfect. You know, disconnect your battery, take out the old alternator, put in the new one, hook up one wire, and you guys are good to go. So we're going to get this installed here and try it out. Hey guys, so I'm trying to sort out the wiring to install this new alternator here, and you know, they say to just install the positive power wire to the post on the back of the alternator, and I verified which wire is the positive wire that would go to the alternator, so I've got that set. But there was a little block that came onto the back side of this, the factory alternator, and had two leads that went into this, and I'm just about positive that those are the leads that lead back to the external regulator. So those are showing as a ground on both of those just by testing them. So I'm going to leave those disconnected for now. The only thing I'm going to take from this alternator is I'm going to take this protective boot. This seems to be a little bit more protective than the boot that comes with the PA Performance one. I'm sure this one would be just fine, but this one here is a little bit more protective, so I'm going to try to rip this one off of here and get it installed on this alternator. Okay guys, so we're back in the shop, and I've had a chance to put a couple miles on the PA Performance alternator that I picked up from them, and thus far I'm really happy with it. It seems to have solved the issue of you know, the overcharging. The external regulator was the culprit in that situation. This is the old one here, the old alternator anyways. The The biggest problem I had was kind of sorting out the original wiring that went to the factory alternator. On my particular one, there was 4 wires. You'll have a positive, a ground, and 2 wires for the external regulator. And getting those all sorted out was the biggest time consumer for me personally. I left the original wiring there for the external regulator because I wasn't for sure if those wires somehow fed power to the voltmeter inside the cab. I wasn't for sure how that all worked out, where it got its feed from, I suppose. It must get itself its reading from somewhere else in the system, because the voltmeter is working just fine. So replacing your factory alternator with the one from PA Performance doesn't seem to affect any of that. So that's awesome that your factory voltmeter is still working just fine and dandy. The installation went well. You know, it's just like replacing a factory alternator. It's super easy. A couple of bolts, you know, loosen up your belt, and you know you're off to the races. They give you some pretty simple instructions, but they'll get you exactly where you need to go. It's to the point. It's short and sweet. So all that's good. The only thing that we're going to be testing at this point is the durability, the longevity of the PA Performance alternator, and they do have a lifetime warranty on it. So if there's any issues, they should be able to resolve that pretty quickly for you. So I think it's a good fix for my situation anyways, where my external regulator was failing, and it allowed the alternator to overcharge the system, and it fried my battery. So that's kind of an expensive fix. You know, you're talking $160 or so, you know, at least for a good battery. So, you know, in the long run, it's kind of an expensive alternator. It's a fair bit more expensive than the factory one, but it does solve a problem, and it seems to be a fairly common problem for these first-gen Rams that have the 5.9 in it, the 5.9 diesel anyways. So for me, it solved a problem, and it seems to be a good product, well made, so I'm pretty happy with that. So check them out. They're at PA Performance. If you guys are having issues with your charging system, it might be a fix for you. So thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.